Tonight we are entering one group from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Four countries, four flags, four different cultures, and four different football stories meeting in the same group. In this video, we will travel calmly through the countries of this group. We will not only look at the teams, we will look at the countries behind them, their cities, their food, their traditions, their famous places, their football history, and the important players who will carry their hopes onto the pitch. Because in the World Cup, every match is more than a score. Every country arrives with memory, identity, culture, and millions of people watching from home. So take a slow breath, relax your shoulders, and let's begin our quiet journey through this World Cup group. Brazil is the largest country in South America, a place of beaches, rainforests, music, cities, rivers, color, and one of the strongest football identities in the world. Its capital is Brasilia, but Brazil is often imagined through cities like Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, Salvador, and Recife. It is a country where nature and culture feel enormous. The Amazon rainforest stretches across the north. The Atlantic coast carries some of the world's most famous beaches, and in Rio de Janeiro, Christ the Redeemer looks over the city, the mountains, and the sea. To understand Brazil, you have to imagine more than stadiums. You have to imagine the taste of feijoada, pão de queijo, churrasco, brigadeiro, açaí, and coxinha. You have to imagine Copacabana Beach at sunset, the sound of samba in the streets, the colors of carnival, the power of the Amazon, the energy of São Paulo, the history of Salvador, and the waterfalls of Iguazu. Brazil is a country of rhythm. Music, dance, food, religion, street life, and football all seem to move together. It is a place where the game is not only watched, it is felt in the body, in the voice, and in the imagination. This is the culture Brazil brings to the World Cup. Football in Brazil is almost mythical. No country has won the World Cup more times. The yellow shirt is one of the most famous symbols in world sport. For many people, Brazil represents the beautiful side of football: creativity, technique, joy, improvisation, and courage. Brazil's football history carries legendary names: Pelé, Garrincha, Zico, Romario, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Kaká, Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos, Cafu, and many more turned Brazilian football into a global story. They made the world believe that football could be more than a game, it could be art. And today, Brazil still carries important names. Vinicius Jr. is one of the main faces of the team, a player known for speed, dribbling, confidence, and the ability to change a match in a single moment. Rodrigo brings intelligence, movement, and calm finishing. Rafinha adds directness, creativity, and attacking energy. Alisson gives Brazil experience and security in goal. Marquinhos brings leadership and defensive authority. Casemiro carries the weight of experience, while Bruno Guimaraes adds control and modern midfield quality. And then there is Neymar, one of the defining Brazilian players of the modern era. His story is connected to joy, pressure, injuries, beauty, expectation, and the impossible weight of wearing Brazil's number 10. In 2026, Brazil arrives with history behind it and pressure in front of it. For Brazil, every World Cup is never just participation. It is a search for the next title, the next great team, and the next unforgettable moment. So when Brazil steps onto the pitch, remember this: you are not only watching 11 players, you are watching a country of beaches, jungle, samba, carnival, famous flavors, football legends, yellow shirts, and a mythology that has shaped the way the world dreams about the game. And now we move to another story from this group: a different flag, a different culture, a different football rhythm, another country, carrying its own history, its own flavors, its own places, and its own dream. Let's continue. Haiti is a Caribbean country located on the western side of the island of Hispaniola, which it shares with the Dominican Republic. It is a place of mountains, coastlines, music, art, memory, and one of the most powerful histories in the Americas. Its capital is Port-au-Prince, a city full of movement, color, sound, and resilience. Haiti is also known for places like Citadelle La Ferrière, a mountain fortress connected to the country's revolutionary history, the coastal beauty of Labadie, the artistic streets of Jacmel, and the blue water of Bassin Bleu. To understand Haiti, you have to imagine more than stadiums. You have to imagine the taste of griot, fried pork served with spice and energy, diri cole, tassote, soup joumou, pickles, and fried plantains. You have to imagine Caribbean rhythms, bright paintings, street art, drums, coastal air, mountain roads, and families gathering around food, music, and memory. Haiti carries a deep historical meaning. It became the first independent black republic in the world, and its national story is tied to revolution, freedom, survival, and identity. That history gives the country a special weight whenever its flag appears on an international stage. This is the culture Haiti brings to the World Cup. Football in Haiti is emotional, proud, and resilient. The national team carries the hopes of a country that has faced many difficulties but has never lost its voice. For Haitian fans, football is not only about results, it is about being seen, being heard, and carrying national pride into the world. Haiti's World Cup story is rare and emotional. The country first appeared at the tournament in 1974, and for more than 5 decades that memory remained almost untouched. In 2026, Haiti returns to the World Cup, ending a 52-year wait and creating one of the most moving comeback stories of the tournament. And within this team, there are important names carrying the story forward. Johnny Placide is the captain and one of the most experienced players, a goalkeeper who gives the team leadership and calmness. Ricardo Ade brings strength and experience in defense. Dukans Nazon is Haiti's all-time leading scorer, a forward connected to goals, belief, and national memory. Franz Di Pierrot adds power, movement, and attacking danger. Carl Santé represents the younger generation in midfield, while Carlins Arcus and Danley Jean-Jacques give the team structure, energy, and balance. Haiti also remembers Emmanuel Sanon, the legendary forward who scored Haiti's World Cup goals in 1974. His name still belongs to the country's football history because he gave Haiti a moment that survived for generations. In 2026, Haiti arrives as an underdog, but also as something more meaningful than that. It arrives with a flag that carries revolutionary history, Caribbean identity, music, art, struggle, and hope. So when Haiti steps onto the pitch, remember this. You are not only watching 11 players, you are watching a country of Caribbean color, mountain fortresses, famous food, revolutionary history, music, art, resilience, and football dreams returning to the world stage after more than 50 years. And now we move to another story from this group, a different flag, a different culture, a different football rhythm, another country, carrying its own history, its own flavors, its own places, and its own dream. Let's continue. Morocco is a country in North Africa where the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, the Atlas Mountains, and the Sahara Desert all meet in one national story. It is a place of old cities, desert light, mountain roads, blue streets, ancient walls, and markets filled with color and sound. Morocco carries Arab, Amazigh, African, Andalusian, and Mediterranean influences, creating one of the most recognizable cultures in the world. To understand Morocco, you have to imagine more than stadiums. You have to imagine the smell of tagine slowly cooking with spices, the warmth of couscous shared at a family table, the comfort of harira soup, the sweetness of pastilla, Moroccan pastries, and mint tea poured carefully into small glasses. You have to imagine Marrakesh with its busy squares and red walls, Casablanca by the ocean, Fez with its ancient Medina, Chefchaouen with its blue streets, the Sahara Desert under the stars, and the Atlas Mountains rising quietly in the distance. Morocco feels like a country of movement and memory. Markets, mosques, old gates, desert roads, music, carpets, spices, and architecture all create a world that feels both ancient and alive. This is the culture Morocco brings to the World Cup. Football in Morocco is emotional, disciplined, and full of national pride. The national team is known as the Atlas Lions, a name that carries strength, identity, and the image of the mountains that shape the country. Moroccan fans are among the most passionate in the world, filling stadiums with red flags, songs, drums, and belief. Morocco's greatest World Cup memory came in 2022, when the team reached the semifinals and became the first African nation to do so. That run was not only important for Morocco, it was important for Africa, for the Arab world, and for every underdog that dreams of changing football history. And within this team, there are important names carrying the story forward. Achraf Hakimi is one of Morocco's biggest stars, a modern fullback known for speed, confidence, technique, and world-class experience. Yassine Bounou gives the team calmness and security in goal, a goalkeeper remembered for his heroic performances. Brahim Diaz brings creativity, elegance, and attacking imagination. Sofiane Amrabat adds strength, control, and intensity in midfield. Naïef Aguerd gives Morocco defensive presence, while Youssef En-Nesyri brings height, movement, and goal threat in attack. Morocco also carries the memory of Hakim Ziyech, one of the most talented Moroccan players of his generation, a player known for his left foot, vision, and ability to create something unexpected. In 2026, Morocco arrives with a different feeling. It is no longer just a surprise story. After 2022, the world knows Morocco can compete with giants. The challenge now is to prove that the historic run was not a beautiful accident, but the beginning of a new football era. So when Morocco steps onto the pitch, remember this: you are not only watching 11 players, you are watching a country of markets, desert light, blue streets, ancient medinas, mint tea, mountain pride, passionate fans, and the Atlas Lions carrying one of the most powerful football stories of modern times. And now we move to another story from this group: a different flag, a different culture, a different football rhythm, another country carrying its own history, its own flavors, its own places, and its own dream. Let's continue. Scotland is a country in the northern part of Great Britain, a place of misty mountains, cold lochs, old castles, green valleys, and stories that seem to live between history and legend. Its capital is Edinburgh, a city of stone streets, dark towers, festivals, and the famous Edinburgh Castle looking over the city. But Scotland is also known through Glasgow, a city with deep working-class energy, music, football passion, and one of the strongest sporting cultures in the country. To understand Scotland, you have to imagine more than stadiums. You have to imagine the taste of haggis, shortbread, cullen skink, porridge, smoked salmon, and the long tradition of Scotch whiskey. You have to imagine the Scottish Highlands covered in mist, Loch Ness surrounded by mystery, the Isle of Skye with its dramatic landscapes, Stirling Castle standing over history, and old villages where the weather, the stone, and the silence all feel ancient. Scotland feels like a country of songs and stories. Bagpipes, tartan, clans, castles, poetry, rain, pubs, and football chants all belong to its identity. It is a place where pride can be quiet, but when it rises, it becomes impossible to ignore. This is the culture Scotland brings to the World Cup. Football in Scotland is old, emotional, and deeply traditional. The country has one of the longest football histories in the world, and its fans are known everywhere as the Tartan Army. They travel with kilts, flags, songs, humor, and a kind of loyalty that makes Scotland feel larger than its population. For Scotland, the World Cup carries a special kind of emotion. The country has waited a long time to return to the biggest stage. Its last World Cup appearance before 2026 came in 1998, so this tournament feels like more than another competition. It feels like a return to a place Scotland always believed it belonged, and within this team there are important names carrying the story forward. Andy Robertson is the captain, a leader known for energy, crossing, experience, and emotional commitment. Scott McTominay gives Scotland power, goals, height, and presence in midfield. John McGinn brings strength, character, and the kind of determination Scottish fans love. Kieran Tierney adds defensive quality and experience, while Lewis Ferguson brings control and intelligence in midfield. Ben Gannon Doak represents youth, speed, and future promise. Chi Adams offers movement and attacking threat, and Angus Gunn gives the team security in goal. Scotland also carries the memory of legends. Kenny Dalglish, Dennis Law, Graham Souness, Gordon Strachan, and Archie Gemmill all belong to the country's football history. Gemmill's famous World Cup goal in 1978 still lives in Scottish memory, a reminder that one moment can become part of a nation's identity. In 2026, Scotland arrives with pride, patience, and the feeling of a country that has waited many years for this stage. It may not always be seen as a tournament favorite, but Scotland brings something different: history, courage, songs, and supporters who make every match feel alive. So when Scotland steps onto the pitch, remember this: you are not only watching 11 players, you are watching a country of misty mountains, old castles, legends, whiskey, songs, loyal fans, and intense football pride carrying its long-awaited World Cup story back onto the world stage. And that was one group from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. 4 countries, each carrying something different: different languages, different foods, different songs, different histories, different football dreams. This is what makes the World Cup beautiful. It is not only about who wins, it is about how the world gathers in one tournament. A flag becomes more than a flag, a team becomes more than 11 players, and a match becomes more than 90 minutes. Now, when you see these countries on the World Cup screen, they will not feel like simple names in a group. They will feel like places, like people, like cultures, like stories. And tonight you learned one more part of the World Cup: